today's video is gonna be a little bit different, you feel me? We're gonna get to my opinion of these new balances as well. Might be coming, they might be changing, they might change or something like that. But I'm gonna do my reaction, because I haven't done a little reaction, you feel me? We're gonna give my opinion about it, my thoughts. So this might be a kind of long video, but if you're into it, hey, welcome, man. We gotta make content somehow. Also, I asked the question, even though I woke up at 2 a.m. and I had to work like three hours later, man, we had to make it to the stage channel, man. We can't miss the stage channel, you feel me? Yeah, but besides that, could make it a little bit more early, but that's okay. 2 a.m. I slumped 30 minutes, and then I joined like literally after they asked the question they opened the question for the chat. So good thing I asked my question though, but that's about it. I'm excited what this stage channel is about, and I'm basically just gonna cut out some stuff and just put in the most important things that you guys might wonder. Let's hop in.
Tell us who you guys are. Who are you? Who are you people? Where's Frame? This isn't Frame.
All right, well, maybe I'll go first then. So, hey everyone, I'm Seth. I'm a game designer who's worked at Supercell now for about 5 years. Frame is on a well-deserved vacation after doing so much. So we're going to talk today about the previous balance changes, what the goals of it were, and how it went. Going to take some questions here from the crowd and audience, and then we'll talk a little bit about next month's balance changes and some of the things that we can share a little bit early this month.
Let's go.
All right, so I guess I'll go first here. And this is a question for Seth. Seth, Skeleton King has been pretty weak for
W Channel, man. Bro, I was gonna ask that question if they didn't ask the SK. Come on now. W. Let's go. Let's go, man. Let's go. Let me hear it.
a while now since no movement. He kind of feels very awkward with his kit. Any plans to fix him?
Yeah, I mean, Skeleton King is one of the coolest characters, one of the coolest champions from Clash Royale, and it's awesome to see him in Clash Mini. Definitely he's in a bit of a weird design spot because currently he only feels viable with Royal Ghost, and we all kind of saw what it felt like when Royal Ghost is overtuned, right? Like when Royal Ghost is a bit too strong.
Can't be dangerous, man. Can be dangerous.
To have Skeleton King and Royal Ghost.
Not gonna capture you.
So I think what we'd like to do is, well, Skeleton King, right? He's the king of the skeletons, and yet his kit in Clash Mini doesn't summon any skeletons, right? It's a kind of his defining feature.
Let him cook. Let him cook.
And he sort of lacks it in Clash Mini. So what we've been looking into is how can we have him actually spawn skeletons, trying to create that feeling of, you know, when he does his super or when he revives, having the skeleton army alongside of him. So the challenge there is, if you give him just like 3 hit skeletons, then he triggers more. Then he's allowing enemies to trigger their boasts pretty easily. So they're trying to find that balance of like, how do you get him to have this feeling of being like a spawner or a summoner, but without feeling too similar to Witch or having weaknesses that make his kit worse overall. I tried to get more of a template and formatting in there. And then afterwards, we went on social media and asked for feedback. What could be better? What could be improved? And something that actually came in from the fans that I thought was genius is we are changing the term rampage for when you go under 50% health. We're going to change that to injury. So, injury,
we'll simplify.
Do this. And similarly, we're going to change the Bandit and Magic Archer's execution special, where they do bonus damage to people under 50%, to bonus damage to injured enemies. So there's sort of this, like, tying these two abilities together, right? Rampage would trigger when you're under 50. One change coming next month is Mini P.E.K.K.A. is no longer going to deal +2 damage to stunned enemies.
Okay, kind of what's the useless ability?
Mini P.E.K.K.A. because stuns are trying to be less common. We're not trying to have as many stuns in the game, and stuns don't last
Forever.
quite so long, right? They're 2 seconds long, something like that.
Right.
It's a bit
That's
hard
even if
for
the
a
mini
slow
picker
attacking
was
character to
able
get
to
those
reach.
attacks in. So next month, that upgrade will be changed from 2x damage to stunned enemies to +2 damage against healthy enemies. And healthy is above 50% health. So this is something where the text changes not only help streamline existing abilities in the game, but also introduced kind of new keywords, new abilities that are really easy for players to understand because...
So with that being said, with the 2x damage changing to +2 damage, I know a lot of minis and heroes in the game currently are 2x damage. Are there any plans to potentially maybe change any of those?
Yeah, mini picker might be back in a minute.
Okay, yes, but let's talk about why first.
Okay.
So I think when I'm looking at the balance right now, I'm looking at all the characters on the little balance dashboards that we have here at Supercell.
Okay.
And I only see one massive outlier. One card that is played dramatically more than all the rest with a significantly higher win rate.
If it's here, maybe BK, but I think Pekka, right? Pekka?
Barbarian King. It has to be Barbarian King.
Prince,
Yeah.
bro. Ain't no way there's no Prince is
chat saying
Prince.
No, a few people saying Prince, Archer.
No, wait. Is that hero or mini?
Minor,
any
minor is
figure,
not minor. Pekka.
Oh,
Mini big
BK,
biggest.
Archer, BK. A lot of guesses here.
W. Pekka,
Archer, Pekka.
Choco, Pekka. It's Pekka, boy.
The only outlier that I can really see on the overpowered side, there's a few characters that definitely need buffs, but on the overpowered side,
Give it to me.
the only character that is like singularly a huge outlier is the Barbarian King.
Ooh.
The Barbarian King is played more than twice as often as the next hero above 2,000 trophies over the last 2 weeks, right? Like keeping that in mind. I'm looking at
boy.
About
what
400 giant. Giant disparity. And to point out that the heroes, let's say heroes number 2 through 5, right? The next 5 most played heroes are all about 49%, 51%, 52, 50% win rate, all right around the middle. Barbarian King is played more than twice as often and holds over a 56% win rate. It's like 56 point something, kind of depending on what you're looking at.
That's wild.
That's insane.
Wild. So something is fundamentally wrong with Barbarian King and his kit.
Okay. What's the change? What's the change? Sam, give us the good stuff.
I think that adding in Unstoppable to his last stand is really fun. Like it's a heroic moment. It feels cool.
It pisses me off sometimes, but
you recognize it, right? It's a very clear on the board thing
happening.
So we're deciding not to change that. We're gonna keep that 3 seconds at Unstoppable.
Okay.
But his super, the 2x attack damage to all allies on the field is maybe fundamentally broken, right? I think that ability on a tough melee attacker, as opposed to a support character or something like that, is causing a lot of constraints on design space. It makes it hard to create characters with high attack damage because you're always having to consider like, oh, well, yeah, and Barbarian King is going to double it. It's made cards like Pekka like kind of difficult to balance. Pekka on her own isn't really that strong, but when Pekka's dealing 48 damage or whatever, you know what I mean? Like dealing just like huge.
It's kind of crazy, man. Kind of crazy.
So
what you got from?
Becomes really hard to balance her when there's always this like perpetual 2x attack damage buff.
Yep.
So we are changing Barbarian King next month from doubling the attack damage to +2 attack damage. Now, for Barbarian King's main play style, which is spreading out a lot of 2 low-cost minis, 2-cost minis, things like that, it actually is pretty similar, right? +2 damage on an Archer is doubling Archer's damage. In some cases, it's better than the old buff because for characters like Skeleton Guard and Ice,
it won't be hard, but it's just like you can't do 48 no more damage on Pekka.
Just doubling. But for anything above 2 attack damage, it's going to be less of a buff. It's
Archer
still really
might be
good if
still
you've got 3
strong.
or 4 attack damage, right? Like plus
Ain't gonna lie.
50%, 's pretty strong.
Maybe.
But it's going to take away these situations where a character like P.E.K.K.A. gets 20 bonus damage on their
Makes sense. Makes sense.
You know, the hero balancing, because as we were just talking about the Barbarian King and the Last Stand ability,
Yup.
the Barbarian King seems to be the tankiest hero inside of Clash Mini by far. It just survives the longest, and I don't think really
Good point.
so much the intention of it being the tankiest, as there is a Shield Maiden who has a shield, and that's pretty much its only function in Clash Mini. Is there any thing that's going to happen with the Shield Maiden to make it on par with the Barbarian King as far as tankiness is concerned?
Yeah, so we posted on Twitter. I posted on my Twitter feed maybe a week or so ago, asking for ideas for a Shield Maiden rework. Shield Maiden is a character that has a few awkward bits of her kit since the change to no movement. She has this clash ability that halves the attack of people in front of her, which is great if you can kind of constantly move and readjust, and it's kind of weak if you are locked into your position from round 1 and people just place stuff in front of you.
Random.
She also had this. This is more of a design philosophy thing, but when she reduces damage by 100% and gets fully immune, that's kind of clunky and awkward and lacks counterplay. Like, there's nothing you can really do to break her out of that mode. And there were times where she just became like completely unkillable, and that didn't feel like fun or something that you as like a player could really interact with.
Okay.
And as you mentioned, you're right. Like, she doesn't have shields. You know, like her name is Shield Maiden, and she doesn't generate shields or anything.
Hold on. Let's say quick. Hold up.
We're gonna make a few changes to her kit.
Okay.
Trying to give her a bit more damage and trying to make her a bit more of sort of a focused tank. So the first change is to her shield ability, her super. So instead of reflecting 100% of damage, she's going to reflect 50% of damage, which means that she takes...
I don't know, man. I don't know about it, but...
50%, she reflects the other 50%. She's no longer damage immune, but she is still very tanky.
I don't know.
That does sound like a nerve. I can see people kind of crying, or maybe it's not the best news, but there's more coming. We did more than that. So her second ability
I'm more happy with it.
Had a lot of keywords and wasn't super clear. We wanted to make it
all needed was the
more of a
escape
damage
buff, man.
contribution ability. So this is she has this 3x4 template in front of her, right? The tile in front of her, the tiles, the left and right in front of her, and then 4 tiles back, all the way to the back of the map. So this is about 60% of the enemy board. Her clash ability has been changed to clash all enemies in that 3x4 template get a burning debuff for up to 10 seconds. Now, burning is 1 damage a second for 10 seconds, so this is basically 10 damage to everything that's standing in that big block in front of you.
And then you see me in the comments as they ask about
escape. It can be healed, it maybe isn't relevant if it's on a backline troop, that kind of thing. But
as it's 10 right there, but for me it was
burning debuff to everything at the start of the battle. This gives her
basically that and Shield Maiden to add more burn. 10 damage and for 10 seconds, I mean, that's 10 damage. Pretty good. Because most of this stuff is pretty much tanky, so
part of the reason why we wanted to do this as damage as opposed to more tankiness is that having the attack of stuff just creates more of this like gameplay where nothing happens, where like she's not taking damage and then getting healed and not really dealing damage back. So we would much rather
first of all, I also gotta say I don't like the part that she it combines energy about with healers and stuff, that she gains energy while she's getting healed, but it's just so boring that you gotta just play with healers, bro. It's just so boring. I'm gonna admit, it's boring. So I don't know.
Have characters be able to do a decent.
But I like the burn effect. This
and this is, I think, gonna make Shield Maiden. I mean, you can't really move her, right? But it hits so much of the enemy board that's gonna be difficult for enemies to place around her without accepting they're gonna take some burning damage.
Okay.
And then her third ability, which I think is going to be a real love-hate ability depending on who's playing her, is Shield Maiden. Instead of having +1 energy on effective heal and +1 energy on stun, which is an ability that is a bit difficult to see. Like if you're a new player and you're watching the battle, effective heal and when stunned are like not easy triggers to understand or follow. And it kind of made her like an ambulance simulator, right? You just play her with all the healers.
Thank you.
Healers are spamming heals on a tank who then gets more energy to put her shield up more often.
Bro, I was just saying, bro, it's boring.
So instead, you mentioned that Barbarian King is maybe the tankiest character in the game. She's going to have a similarly tanky ability. So her third ability is being changed from +1 energy of effective heal and +1 energy when stunned to, similar to the Barbarian King, a last stand ability.
Okay.
Before she dies, she's going to gain 50 shield, up to 50 shield, and max energy. So, right before she dies, 50 shield, turns on her block, and that gives her a huge effective pool of
God damn.
What's awesome about
it's not
really
bad.
fun about this as well,
if you've been realistic, I think she had like 70 HP.
For Dart Goblin. A ranged carry who doesn't quite have like the love for it.
It's
but
like, and they're making us 100. It's not bad.
People who can't really
but
fight
50
through
shield, it sounds crazy, but
Valkyrie, Dart Goblin feels so good when
because if you really think about it, she doesn't put a lot of damage up.
So we think she's going to be strong. We think she's going to be like a pretty powerful tank and really still serve the same purpose that Shield Maiden players want, which is like a tanky really hard to kill frontliner. But it's also, I'm not worried about her dominating the meta.
Check it out. I requested like last minute. I'm like, I need to think of something. And I just made a video about Barbarian. So might as well ask the man about Barbarian. Ask the man. Go ahead, Flacco. Let me cook.
I guess we can get Flacco in next.
W chat. Hey, W chat again for letting me in. Let's go. Let's go. Let me cook. Hey, let me know that I cook. All right.
Ooh, I'm surprised I got it.
All right. Hold on. I really won't go. I'm surprised because later on there was a glitch on Discord. If you were on your phone, it would not let you click on it. And now they fixed it. I was speechless because I was not thinking I was not gonna get up at 2:40 in the AM on my PC. I'm like, if this works on my phone, I'm gonna risk it for the biscuit. If it doesn't, well, too bad, too sad. But let's see. That sounds so like slummed. I like
accepted it. I'm in my phone. Thank goodness. Okay.
Yo, I'm for it.
Hey, but hello everyone. How y'all doing?
Bro, you don't know how to sit, bro. Why am I talking to myself? Bro, what? And bro, I'm acting too professional right now.
My question. Are we gonna see anything in Barbarian?
Don't be question. Let me know. Don't be question or not.
Oh yeah. Hey.
I remember this.
We are gonna change Barbarian a little bit, but it's one of those changes. I don't want to spoil it, but it's one of those changes where he's a little bit worse at 0 and 1 star, but much better at.
Choco, Barbarian is fine. Show me a video of you playing Barbarian at top 2,000 and something. 2,800, let's say that. 3K plus. And tell me if he's good or not. Because literally, I went into a losing streak for ages. You don't know how mentally that... He's not good, man. He's not good. He's so bad. He's like... He's bad. He's bad. He's bad. He needs them both, man.
2 and 3 stars. So I want you all to know that if you love Barbarian, you got to commit to Barbarian. Barbarian
That's
needs
interesting.
a commitment.
I want to know now. I want to know
play him
more.
up to 3 stars. But if you play him up to 3 stars, he's going to be significantly better than he currently is. So like, hashtag commit to Barb. Make your Barb commitments now. He's an investment. That's right, Chocolate Chip Donut.
Someone said the way he said, "Oh yeah, you know, Seth is cooking. You know, he got something up his sleeves that he doesn't want to spoil you." But we couldn't get that out of him. But we got a little bit of something on Barbarian. That's a dope.
Barbarian is an investment. He's a long-term play. Yeah, no, we are going to do a buff to him next month. I may be overselling it a bit. It's not going to be like a complete world-ending, game-changing buff, but he is going to be quite a bit better at 3 stars than he is currently.
Okay. Oh, thank you. Thank goodness. Barbarian needed a change.
He needed it. He's a fun one. We want him, of course, to be a bit better.
Yeah, I think Seth messing with me though. Give me the next stage channel.
So yeah,
Next stage channel.
Yeah, man. Thanks for your question. I wasn't planning on talking about Barbarian, but I'm glad you asked.
Yeah, thank you.
FFlacoo's still in bed. 2 a.m. Yeah, Daniel. It's 2 a.m. I'm not gonna be up when I have work in 3 hours. And you feel me? You gotta get that beauty sleep, you feel me? So your boy wasn't in bed. After that, knocked out. Back to sleep.
Alright. Bye. Have a good one.
You didn't ask that. Bye. Have a good one. Get him. Draco should have kicked me out at that point. Kick me out. Someone say good morning. Okay, well, I went back to sleep after that.
Anyways, so I was gonna ask that since Pink Fury is the most recent hero, what are your plans on her? Because she's kind of like in high B tier or something like that right now.
My impression is that she's a bit on the weak side, but also she's such a different and unique character,
right?
That I think both players are still figuring out how to use her and build decks around her, and of course enemies are still learning how to like play against her. There's nothing really on the slate for next month because I think Barbarian King is warping so much of the meta that it's kind of hard to understand.
It's kind of hard to tell, like, if Pink Fury is good or not. I mean, he got some point. But I feel she still needs a little bit of both. But we just wait and see after the next balance changes.
Lessons you've learned and are now, keeping in mind when doing balance changes in Clash Mini.
I think one of the things that I've been focused on is mostly again, the clarity of abilities and sort of simplifying the kits. I think something we've learned from
head looks massive with these
Clash Royale is that characters just sort of need to work the way you expect them to work, and if the more hidden information and the more like unclear mechanics, the less fun the game is overall. Even if it's balanced, if it's not clear, then you're probably not having fun or it's not tickling your brain in the same way. I definitely want to be a lot more careful with reworks. Like when I said that we only want to rework one hero a month and things like that, that is directly due to the nightmares of me reworking Witch and Executioner and doing a bad job on those reworks and kind of really warping the meta. So instead of changing too much all at once, I'm trying to change things a bit slower, but also keep in mind that, people who play Shield Maiden expect her to work a certain way and fill a certain role. So even if you had cool ideas for the rework, trying to keep her fitting the same gameplay patterns that she had before. Something that I think went really wrong with some of the remakes in Clash Royale was the character no longer operated the way you expected it to. It didn't fill the same role in your deck as you had wanted it to before. And that feels like we, the game developers, borrowed your deck from you, broke it, and then gave it back to you and asked why you were upset, So I think we're going to try to do a much better job on Clash Mini of just
balancing out. I mean, y'all doing a great job, Link the Cat.
And hopefully you guys have gotten some really fun spoilers. The next balance changes are going to be in like mid-October. So let's say October 11th.
Mid-October? Did I hear that right?
11th or so. The reason why it changes are going to be in like mid-October. So let's say October 11th, 10th or 11th or so. The reason why is because there is a week-long holiday in Shanghai where the Clash Mini team is located. So it's going to push everything back 1 week farther than normal.
You telling me?
I know that's a bit of a disappointment.
You telling me
right away on
I have to play with BK
October 1st or whatever.
until mid of October.
Expectations that these bounce changes,
Got him.
the ones I've shared, many of them are coming. No promises, of course.
We
can always change things last minute. We're constantly doing balance testing and bug testing, and so if something comes up, we may need to make changes to some of the things I've shared today.
Okay.
But I'm sharing at least the intention of what we're hoping to do, and the final balance notes will be posted maybe closer to mid-October. So yeah. Sorry about that, but that's that's life.
He said that's life.
Yeah, exactly. And it's like a national thing. It's like every company goes on these kind of like week-long, bank holidays.
Oh,
So,
yeah, week long.
yeah, it's been awesome. I love chatting with the community, and of course, it's great to see people like Abdud, who I've met more recently through Clash Mini, and of course, people like Enchantin, Enchantin and I go way back. There are videos of Enchantin and I in 2017 casting big esports events together. So it's kind of crazy that we've been in this Supercell game scene for so long and still kind of meeting up often, chatting about balance changes, talking about the future. So it's been really cool to see kind of old and new faces again and meet a whole new community here for Clash Mini.
It's funny. I remember those days. I was more of a player and a viewer.
I was a viewer, man.
Yeah, there's so much overlap between Clash Royale.
They want Clash Royale players
too that it's felt like a really warm welcome.
Enjoyed the video. If you did, make sure to hit that subscribe button and let me know what you guys think about these thoughts. I know this is a longer video. Of course, I'm gonna get my opinions on it, so you feel me. But I hope you guys enjoy and see you guys in the next one.